What's up, you guys? OperationGamer here, coming back with another video today. If you guys hear some background noise, my window's open. It's really, really hot in here. But this topic came to me a little bit recently, and I kind of wanted to discuss it with you guys because it's something that kind of irritates me a little, especially with a couple of situations that's been going on in my life right now, and I thought I'd discuss it with you guys. So if you guys like these kinds of videos, be sure to hit that like button, and yeah, let's get into this topic. So the topic I'm discussing today is, why do guys have the toughest jobs in relationships? And let me just put a disclaimer right here. If I'm not talking about all relationships, I'm talking about some relationships where guys are actually serious about relationships and they have to put forward a lot of the effort. And even some guys who just normal things apparently anyway. It gets really annoying sometimes cuz if girls think that they're the ones who has to do all the work, if you think the hardest job is trying to keep the guys out of your pants, you are surely mistaken. Because I'm not talking about the guys who just want to go around and sleep around. I'm talking about the guys who actually are serious about a relationship. So, yeah, let's get into this topic. Here we go. So the first subtopic I kind of want to talk about is asking the girl out in particular. Why does it always have to be the guys? I mean, the guys always have to ask him out to the dances. They always have to ask him out on a regular date, apparently. My school, or my old school, I should say, sometimes did girl ask guy dances, which put a lot of the pressure off of me, even though I never got asked anyway. Oh, that's just my sad life. But why do guys always have to be the one to ask you out? I mean, is it some kind of masculinity thing? Is it something that's just like it? It's just how guys are perceived. I even asked YouTuber Kendrick or Eki why he thinks that guys are always put on the line to keep relationships together, and he says that's just how men are perceived. And just like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But why does it always have to be the guy to ask you out? Why can't a girl ask a guy out? I mean, I'm not saying that girls never ask guys out. I'm just asking, why does it always put on the guys to ask them out? They always have the pressure of asking them to the dances, and they're always trying to find the right girl, and just like they're like, not all guys are that I gotta go for that girl first, and not all guys are confident like me. It's just how it is sometimes. Why do the guys always have to ask the girl out? Why can't the girl ask a guy out every once in a while? If the girl knows that the guy likes him and they like him back, why do they have to wait for him to make the move? Why can't she make the move? If she knows the guy is way too nervous, why does she want him to make the move? It's just a simple question. And I feel like girls are just as capable as guys to ask the guy out. Just putting it mildly. Then there's keeping the relationship. Keeping the relationship in check, making sure that, everything's going fine. I mean, I'm kind of put in a situation where my girlfriend is busy a lot, but I'm always the one who has to try to start the conversation. She never tries to start the conversation with me ever since she got busy. I understand that you're busy. I mean, I completely understand, but sometimes it's hard to be ignored, especially by the other party. I'm not saying that guys don't do this either. I'm just saying that sometimes it's tougher on a guy. Well, I feel like in my perspective, I don't know from a girl's perspective because I'm not a girl. If you're busy, I'm completely fine with that. Sometimes there's things that a guy wants, and that's communication. A lot of communication. And it's really tough on a guy if the girl becomes really busy and rarely ever talks to them, and they always have to try to start the conversation. I mean, I don't know how it is for some girls, but I feel like if I'm busy, I at least try to talk. I mean, I'm always put in the situation where I have to start the conversation, and it's tough on me. And I know it just sounds like I'm complaining at this point, but that's basically my situation. I feel like that it shouldn't always be put on the guy to start the conversation. I feel like it should be mutual. I feel like it should go both ways. This one's an interesting one to talk about. The sexual teases. Oh, ho, ho. Those are interesting. Now, when it comes to relationships, sex is always a weird thing to talk about. Unless you're completely comfortable with it, and that's completely fine. But let's think about it in a guy's perspective. If there's a girl that he's going out with and he wants to have sex with her, but she wants to wait and the guy is completely respectable about it. Why sexual teases? Why? I mean, I'm not saying that they're not enjoyable, but at the same time, like if you do it over and over again, it's unfair to the guy. And ladies, you think that trying to keep a guy out of your pants is hard? Well, not wanting them to have sex with you while teasing them about it and the guy's trying to hold back is even harder. I mean, pushing them away is hard. I get it, but trying to hold back because you respect them too much is even harder. Basically it's like a little toy, like that you do with the pets, where like it's right there, but oh nope, you can't get it. One of those stupid fish on a rope things where they're jumping up trying to get it. It's kind of like that. It's really just interesting that even though they don't want to have sex with you, they do teases like this. Maybe it's unintentional, maybe it's intentional. I have no clue. But sometimes you just gotta watch for that. I mean, do I enjoy them? Sometimes, but sometimes it gets even harder, especially with when the girl doesn't want that he doesn't feel like they can help him with the sexual type stuff, even when he's really struggling. I feel like the sexual teases are unfair. Maybe I'm complaining at this point. Maybe it's just me, but sometimes they get annoying, especially on guys who want to but know they can't do it. It's really simple as that. Now, before I go on, I just want to state that I'm not complaining because I can't get sex. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you're teasing a guy who you know wants you, and you're doing it a lot because you think it's fun, that's really fucked up. It's kind of like knowing that a guy likes you and you just play with their emotions, and you know that deep down that they're never gonna have you, like you're never gonna go out with them, but you play with them anyway because you know it gets you attention. Just why? Then there's the stress about having mutual feelings. Now, when I say mutual feelings, I mean like the stress of wondering if the relationship is going okay. Because sometimes, for a guy, from a guy's perspective, it's hard to know what a girl wants or what a girl is feeling. Now, I've had 3 girlfriends in my life. I'm currently on my 3rd, and I rarely ever know what they are feeling. And it's really tough for me to figure that out. Like I don't know whether or not she wants my attention. I never know whether or not I always have to check in. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying I'm not going to be there for anyone. It's just that figuring it out is really fucking tough, and trying to figure out if they really need your help and trying to figure them out and be the biggest mystery. It's really tough on a guy. Now the drama. Drama's interesting because the guys always have to be the support group no matter what. Now, my very first girlfriend, it ended because of drama. Now let me tell you a little story. Basically, what happened was that my best friend, she got in a fight with her best friend. And I've known this friend ever since middle school. Like, he's basically like a brother to me. And they were fighting for a really stupid reason, and my girlfriend was getting in the middle of it, or my ex-girlfriend, I should say. And I basically wanted out of it, but I always had to be the rock in the middle. Like, I always had to support her. I didn't want to support her because I felt like my friend was right. I didn't want to change my opinion just based on who I dated. Now, does that make me a bad person? I have no clue. But that's just basically just how I feel from that perspective. Is the drama will almost be a deal breaker, especially when you're the guy in the relationship. I feel like, from a guy's perspective, a guy mostly thinks that girls cause a lot of the drama. Guys do cause drama, but sometimes when they have to be the rock in the middle and they have to be the support group, and it's just constant and constant. It's a tough job. Now, is it a doable job? Yes, but is it a tough job? Absolutely. Last but not least, I want to talk about, why does the guy have to break up with the girl? I mean, okay, maybe I shouldn't say the guy always has to break up with the girl. The girl sometimes does break up with the guy, but like, if if the guy is the one detecting stuff wrong, they have to bring it up to them. Now, it's always a tough job if you have to break up with a girl, how to do it, because it's either over texting, over phone call, or face to face. Now, there are reasons to why some of these are acceptable and why some that are not. Face to face acceptable because it's in person. All is being laid out on the table, and you feel like you're being straight up honest with them. The con to that is that you have to deal with a lot of crying, a lot of emotions, which you're gonna have to deal with. Like, I'm not saying you want to avoid that as much as possible. You're gonna have to deal with it, but like, it's even awkwarder face to face, and a lot of people can judge it from that. But people have their own different ways of doing it. Doing it over the phone, its upside is, you're not looking at the person, but you are talking to them. It's still your voice. It's still the way that you can do it. The con is you have the slight chance of awkwardness and having to deal with crying and, a lot of that emotion stuff, which, yet again, you're going to have to deal with, but at the same time, it'll be alright. Text message, a lot of people say, is a really fucked up thing, which I can agree, but it's 2017. Texting is basically our face-to-face conversation. Literally, I've seen people who are in the same room and they're texting each other instead of talking face-to-face. Like, are you fucking stupid? I mean, it's like the freaking Crash and Bernstein episode where the two popular girls were texting each other, and then the phones and internet went out, and then that was the first time that they actually heard their voices. It's really sad. But anyway, the upside of the texting is you don't have to deal with a lot of awkwardness. It's quick. You can get it done right away, and you don't have to deal with a lot of crying and, things like that. The con side is like, it's not that upfront and honest. It's not that you don't it's not the you don't have to deal with them. It's like, I don't even know how to say this, but I'm just rambling at this point. But, it's really hard. But even just I feel like it's mostly the guy who discovers something wrong with the relationship, and they have to figure out how to end it off while maybe still staying friends if they want it. It's tough on a guy. Now, to wrap this whole video up, I just want to say that I know this whole video just maybe me just complaining about stuff that's wrong with my relationship and how I feel, but I just want to give you guys, from a guy's perspective, on why I feel like it's tough for guys to be the only one. No, I shouldn't say only one, who has to put a lot of effort into a relationship. Now, I'm sure girls have a lot of work too. I'm not counting them out. I'd love to hear from a girl's perspective on why, what work girls have in a relationship. Now, if it's a lot of bull crap and, you know, just a bunch of, like, you know, I'm always willing to hear other people's opinions, but if it's just basically just ran slashing men, just, I don't want to hear it. But if it's legitimate reasons and legitimate opinions, I would love to hear it in the comments below. Please, please let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this. I do feel like as if the guys are putting real hard work into a relationship. I'm sure that that there are relationships where both parties witness relationships just fine. But I feel like sometimes the guy mostly has the harder work. And I'm not saying, and like I said, I'm not saying that the girls don't have to put in hard work. I'm just saying I feel like guys have the tougher job. But that's just my opinion. That's a guy's perspective. Like I said, I would love to hear a girl's perspective and what they think about these reasons that I've given. Please let me know what you guys think. And if I agree with you, maybe I'll make an update video. I don't know. But that's basically it for this video. If you guys like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do what you guys do on that YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at OperationGamer1, all that cool stuff. I'd really appreciate to see your guys' opinions about everything that I've just said. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.